Hello, and welcome to another episode of This Is Our Year. I'm your host, Michael Curland.
Hello.
Joining me, as always, partner in crime, Dougie Fresh. Doug, I'm changing our intro. You know
I
why?
like it.
Because all our fucking teams suck, Doug. All our
They're
teams
they're,
suck.
they're all washed.
Yeah.
We're all I'm feeling washed again this week. I feel like that's how we've opened a couple of shows lately. Another rough week, all around, including the team.
I wore this exact same outfit
Yeah,
yet last week, and I did so because today I was gonna hopefully wear like something from the New York Icelanders.
no.
And then they went and lost to Ottawa. They lost to Montreal,
Can't
and
talk about this
to
without alcohol, man.
Vancouver. So yeah, what are you drinking today, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, this will definitely help with the washed feeling. But hey, it's Thursday. Let's crack one open. And if you guys been watching the show,
Well, and you haven't because we know nobody's
and you
been watching the
haven't,
show.
but take my word for it. I'm developing a stout problem.
Oh,
I found another stout I haven't heard of, and I'm drinking it. So I know there's been a lot of stout this winter, and this is another 11 percenter. So we're gonna have some fun, and it's the guys at Fat Orange Cat. It's called
nice,
Purgatory. That's the
nice,
North Haven guys. Love these guys. Make great beer.
nice,
Double
nice.
dry bean, single origin Colombian coffee. 11%. I think I said that, and
Mm.
Grim Reaper Cat. And real quick story: we had to take one of our 17 cats, I mean, two cats, to the vet yesterday. And when it came back, it had like smell on it or something, and the other cat lost its mind. And it's been battle royale here for the last 24 hours. So like I'm literally feeling this death
Dude.
cat stuff. It's hilarious. They usually get along, and now it's like divided sides of the apartments.
Oh
It's
my
awesome.
god.
Yeah. So
You are one of my few friends who does enjoy the company of felines. And I don't understand
cats
it.
are great.
I don't understand it, Doug.
Dogs are great too. I'm not one of those, one's better, one has to suck. We can't have dogs in this condo someday. So yeah, it's cat time, man.
Yeah, no, I do. Trust me, when I was a younger man and I grew up, I had a cat from you remember Jasper. He hated
Hmm.
me. I don't know if did he hate you as much as he hated me?
Dude, he loved me. I'm the beastmaster, well, especially with cats. So
Yeah.
that probably goes a long way in
Yeah.
my habit.
I probably also shouldn't have thrown him off the banister when I was a kid.
Mm,
Multiple times.
probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those things where you look back and it's like cringy, regretting,
Yeah.
But I was young, and
Yeah.
someone told me cats land on their feet, so I was like, let's give it a try.
Let's test that theory.
So yeah, it worked. I mean, they do, but it was definitely not. It was not something that endeared the cat to me, and he definitely lived for a very long time. And even in his old age, when he was living with my dad in my dad's apartment, he hated me. It
Yeah.
was it was
I
not
remember
cool.
that guy. I used to just get him jacked up on catnip. I think he liked me for that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And then I had two cats with my ex-wife, and
right.
the day that we went our separate ways and she took the cats was one. It was a like double win for me, triple win because I was like, I don't have
Free at
pets anymore.
last.
I
Lord
don't have
Almighty, free at
fucking
last.
cats. Because, dude, exactly what you're talking about. Like, I would go to bed, it'd be like fucking normal time, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever time it was. And 1 in the morning, I'd get the cats would start chasing each other and they'd kick the bedroom door down and trample across my face to wake me up. And that's how I would wake up at 1 in the morning. Just what?
Yeah,
And then
and people think of them as small, right? But like if they get big enough, like
I
full
mean,
force landing on your chest when you're sleeping, that'll rock you. That happened to me like
dude, on my
sometimes.
chest, I wish it was my fucking chest. It was my face. And then, oh my God. And then they would fucking puke. They would puke
Mm,
hairballs everywhere. Like, and the worst was like, we had a girl cat and she would always go into the guest room. That was kind of her like little, she shed,
hang out.
if you will.
Yeah,
And she would just fucking lay on the bed, like rub cat hair everywhere, and then like puke little cat hair balls on the bed. And you'd find them like when someone was coming to stay, and you'd be like, "Cool, I guess I got to do laundry." Fucking
mm,
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem when we have house guests. Obviously, we got to
Yes.
break out the rollers.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love the little idiots. They
Yeah.
keep me entertained, especially over the winter. So
Totally. I get it. I mean, I am what you just described. I'm a dog guy. Definitely. Last night we were watching a commercial and it was like fucking Fancy Feast or something came on, and Alex was like,
yeah,
kittens are cute, and I was like, nope. And she's like,
they
I'm
are.
not saying I want one, and I
They
was like,
are
good. You can
planting the seeds, Alex.
you
I
can
like it.
say that you think they're cute, but no cat will ever live in this house ever. I
Wow,
am
they're
cat.
putting your foot down.
Yes, there's
No,
no. There's a lot of things I put my foot down on, but I am cat free for life. Like never again,
never
ever,
again. Wow,
never
I
again.
I didn't realize you were that hard line.
Dude, I bought brand new furniture when I had the two cats, and they treated it like scratching posts,
Yeah, that's
puked
another thing.
everywhere, and I just don't trust anything that shits in a box. Like, how do cats know to shit in the box? How do they know? I don't understand this.
It's a great question, but they do it. It's pretty cool.
Right, and then they
Very
like
rarely they don't.
they're gross. They're just gross. I don't, and
They clean
they
themselves. The dogs. Do
right.
dogs clean themselves? No.
No, but cats clean themselves with their tongue. Like, dude,
Yeah.
do you lick your asshole?
Well, if I could, I'd never leave the house, right, Michael?
We'll be here all the week. All the week. Oh my
Are you
god, dude,
drinking?
that's great.
What's going on?
Dude,
No, I don't blame
I've had a week, and the baby was up at like 1:30 last night. I've drank, Valentine's Day we went out, we had a couple of drinks,
you.
and we went out last night. I had an interview for a guy for the company, and those interviews are like marathon dinners with a bunch of alcohol, and so I definitely had the thing where like I woke up at 1 because the baby got up, and then I had like heart palpitations because all the sugar was like
Yeah. Yep.
fucking
Good
trying
old
to
booze rooster.
digest. So it was up from like 1:30 to 3:30, just like
Oh man.
thinking about starting lineup for Chelsea Blues, and what are the Mets going to do this year, and
Yeah.
who am I going to hire this guy, and oh my god, dude, it was my brain wouldn't shut the fuck up
And
last
and
night.
and how bad is that overtime power play that we've had the gift of getting to watch 2 games in a row?
Oh,
I wish
dude,
I could
so
watch it all
let's
60 minutes.
let's
Thing of beauty.
I think I think we'll both agree on the Viacom Dios today. And I thought it was going to be the Islanders season, but it's not.
No,
So
no, no. There's a much better one. And once
yes,
again, like breaking news today, like right before we do these. So yeah, it's a
yes,
sad one. But anyway,
yeah,
we honestly, I'm not even like. I know I texted you like an angry rant after that Ottawa game. I guess what was
yes.
it, Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday?
It was
And
Tuesday night, and I actually texted you and I said we lost to Ottawa, ha 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 ha, about
right,
400 times. Right?
yes, but,
Yeah.
which is what they deserved. I mean, at this point, yeah,
Season's over, dude.
season's over, and well, honestly, it's probably not. I hate to say it because the other teams around them are playing like crap too.
And
But
Ovechkin's
no,
on a leave of absence, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, we could still sneak
Pittsburgh's
in.
also really old. Buffalo's lost a bunch of games in a row until last night, I think. But dude, the problems here aren't fixed. This has
No.
been a bad team now for almost 2 years going.
Dude,
That's
and
it.
I think everyone's starting to call for Lambert's head, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Is he the
I'm
problem
pretty
or
much there. Yeah,
yeah,
no, someone can do better with this group. They're not this bad, right?
right? But it's just what I found myself thinking the other day is like we fired Barry Trotz for this, and I think at the end of the day, it's like you start going. I started going down that rabbit hole. It's like we fired Barry Trotz for this. This is who we replaced him with because he was this hot commodity that had more of an offensive game, and the team is exactly the fucking same as they were last year, and we don't have all the issues we had last year. So
Right.
we're just a mediocre team, and then I start thinking, have we finally fallen off the cliff? Is Anders Lee and Josh Bailey and the nucleus of this team just like too old? And honestly, I think the answer is yes. I don't think it's Lampert. I don't think it's Trotz. I think that the nucleus of this team is too old and slow. I think that's really what it is. We're too slow, and we cannot keep up with anybody. Like, sure, if we were playing under Trotz, I think we would be playing a lot more 2-1 games again, and instead of 5-4 shootouts with fucking Vancouver and losing in overtime to Montreal because we don't know how to play defense. But
Yeah.
would we be more disciplined?
That was
Sure. But
embarrassing,
I,
by the
I
way.
really think that we're just old and slow right now. And we are I think we're the oldest team in the NHL, and I think we're the slowest team in the NHL.
It
So
wouldn't surprise me if we are. And obviously, adding Horvat doesn't make you any younger. Although, I still don't hate that deal with
no,
the
I think
extension too much, but it's just going to make the hangover worse with the lack of prospects. I have a question for you though, because I do think some of this is on Lane. Why is it that this group, who played under Barry for 4 years and had great success with them the first 3, why can't they just switch back to that system?
I mean, but
The
they had
defense,
that
the back
they
end
had that
is
system.
degraded so much.
They had that
You know,
system last year, and that system didn't do well last year either. So
no,
it's not like I don't know, man. I think that Lou outthought himself on this. I think he thought Barry lost the room, and so he moved on. I think he thought he was going to lose Lane as a potential coach somewhere else, and he wanted to,
yeah,
get on board with him. I think Barry had a rough year last year, but what I really think is that the team is old, and they just don't have the giddy up that they used to have. And that's what it really comes down to. I don't think if we change coaches that it's going to make a difference. I don't think that we're going to get any better. I think we're that fucking mediocrity team that's like just maybe good enough to get the 8th seed, or just maybe bad enough to not make the playoffs, but like just miss the 8th seed. And I think
oh
we're
yeah,
stuck there this year. And unless Lou
and next
finally
year.
blows it up, well, unless he blows it up and he starts making hockey trades, we are stuck here for the foreseeable future. We have
Or get worse.
I mean, we've got the makings of a good first line if we could ever get a wing. They got Bailey there now. I don't know how long that's going to last. The second line is, I guess, okay. Third line, when Pajot is playing, is, I guess, okay. And the fourth line is old and slow, and they can't hit
Peugeot's very
anybody
good, by the
anymore.
way.
Right. And then, your defense is slow. There's something wrong with Pellick. He should not be playing. He definitely has a concussion hangover. I've never seen him play this bad ever in my career.
Pretty much all of them are having a bad year, except maybe Aho, and he's never been good. So,
Right. No,
really,
he's
like, to
just
their
playing
careers.
average. So
Excuse me. Such a perfect parallel to what happened in Washington when they put Reardon in right after Trotz left. If anybody's familiar with how that went down, and that was a total debacle. But that team was able to hire Laviolette, and now they're at least back to being competitive. That's probably the best case for this group. And
yeah, I mean, I think we will probably need a new infusion of a coach that is
yeah,
going to
and
like bring some sort of a system, but we need speed. We need speed.
well, the
We have no
MLS
speed
seem
besides
to get like a
Barzell.
decade younger, right?
Ah,
What? Too bad. Like Lou's too old to fire Lane and step in behind the bench like he used to. I mean, put up or shut up, right, Lou? This is your creation. Now, I'm not convinced he's gone after this year. Ownership just let him do the Horvat trade. Just let him spend 65 million of their money.
who,
Are
Lou?
we? Yeah. Are we sure Lou's out?
I have no idea what's going on with Lou. I have no idea what's going on with Lane. I have no idea what's going on with this team. I think March 3rd will be very telling because we're either going to be buyers or sellers, and it'll
God, please
show
stop
what.
buying.
I mean, to you, you just
You know,
you just fucking made the argument for him to buy. We're still in the fucking hunt.
last week, yeah. Oh no, I'm not making it today. There was that little Horvat bump, right? They won 4 games in a row. But
Right. I mean, we should have won 7 games in a row. The fact that
yep,
we've lost to these 3 teams that are downtrodden, and like, I think Ottawa's the worst team in the East, or Montreal's the worst team in the East. I
Montreal
think
is, yeah.
Ottawa is like right there, closely behind
They
them,
have some
and
talent, but they're a couple years away still. Yeah,
and Vancouver's like one of the worst teams in the West, and they just traded their
literally
captain.
tanking. Yeah,
Yeah, and we
and
still couldn't beat them. So I don't know, man. I mean, I would trade anyone worth anything that isn't part of the core, and the core consists of the top 3 defenders that we all know, Pulak, Pellick, and Dobson. I mean, Mayfield, Aho, goodbye,
bye,
Romanov.
bye.
I don't care. You hate him, so I'll take your word on that. And then
I
anyone
just
on
hate
the
that trade.
and
Jesus,
then
it's not looking good, man.
anyone not named Barzell or Horvat can go as far as I'm concerned. I don't care anymore as long as we can get some young guys back, or we can get some, replenish the draft picks.
Yeah.
And Varlamov, I mean, dude, we have to trade Varlamov. We have to. What the fuck do we need a $5 million backup goalie?
It was pretty bad not trading him last year, and I was on
It's
record for
going to
that.
be even worse when we don't trade him this year, and he walks in free agency for nothing.
And Vegas really needs a goalie. I don't know if you saw that.
And so do the Kings. I mean, everyone's like in play for a goalie. He's probably the best guy on the market. So go leverage the market and move him.
Yeah, like I told you when the Horvat trade went down, I was actually like one of my first reactions was like, if he ends up selling some pieces too, and it's like a nuanced like buy and sell kind of year for Lou, I'm down with that. Collect some assets now.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with
see
you.
what you can do with the coach next year, but yeah, this team.
Well, Bruce Boudreau is out there, and I mean that's a guy that.
Although if Horvat was just playing for him, who knows?
I mean, did Horvat not like him, or
I'll look into it. I know there was some drama there in Vancouver.
Interesting.
One other thing to think about with this dumb team is that they just opened an arena. I'm not sure ownership wants to do a like complete teardown.
I think we need to do a teardown, but we definitely need to retool. We have run it back for 4 years with the exact same fucking team, aside from adding Zach Parise, and I think that's it.
And making the D worse.
Overall. Yeah, and Romanoff, right? Death by paper cut D. Jesus Christ. So enough about that shit team on Long Island. Enough of them. Enough of them. Let's talk about little Brooklyn Nets. I just want to say Michael Bridges did 45 points last night.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they beat the Heat. They beat the Heat, and Bridges and Cam Johnson had good nights. This team is totally different now, and I don't really know how to feel about it. I think it's a bunch of wings and a couple of bigs and a couple of point guards and Ben Simmons. And
Ben Simmons, who is bad. That's like all I see in terms of headlines about your team.
He's, the problem with Simmons is he lost his confidence. Yeah. He was never a good shooter, but he used to go to the hole, and he could get to the hole because he's a 6'10" point guard.
Now, right?
So, I mean, I don't know. He's the backup point guard. He had 4 assists last night. He got a bunch of assists to Bridges. He definitely drives the lane and kicks it out and does a really good job of it. But then he's like playing like point center. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this team. They're at least don't hate the fucking team anymore.
I'd rather the Islanders be in that kind of state, I guess.
Totally. I just like, dude. So I was thinking about this in my perpetual like non-sleep last night, and it's like, I definitely, obviously we all love when our team is good. We don't always get to know what that feels like, but
especially you and I.
Mostly me. You've had some Giants wins in there. I haven't had anything. So for me, when the Mets are good, it's fun. When the Jets are actually good, it's fun. Brooklyn,
until it's not.
Exactly. But
it's painful.
And then I'm always, and maybe it's just me, but I'm always a fan of like letting the young guys play. If you're retooling, at least see what you got and letting them come up and But then when Brooklyn had all those guys before they got KD and Kyrie, it was like, well, they're scrappy, they're young, they're doing their thing. But it's like that mediocre slop that the Islanders have become. Right. That they're just like,
especially when there's no like promise of any of the players.
I mean, yeah, okay, Barzell's good and like Horvat's good, but like this team is just like has no identity. Like, what are they? They're not scrappy. They're like a bunch of old guys that are like hanging on to their NHL careers.
And by the way, come on, I love these guys, but you're right. They've all been here for like a decade, which is kind of crazy for pro sports,
I forgot. Right? So this is what I was thinking about last night. Like, I totally forgot that Matt Martin left for 2 years and then came back. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's right. He was on the Leafs for 2 years. Totally forgot about that.
There were some retrospectives on the fight night against Pittsburgh like 12 years ago. I don't know if you remember that, but it was just a wild game that they won like 9-3. And Michael Haley tried to fight the goalie. And there were like 3 players left on each bench by the end of the game. It was good times. Matt Martin and Josh Bailey both got kicked out of that game. This was like 2011, dude. That's like ancient history, man. Like these guys have been around together forever. I kind of love that. But here we are. It's the hangover. It's the end of the relationship. It's pain, and it's going to get worse. Just because they don't have any help coming in the pipeline. Right. I guess you could trade your first round pick every damn year, but it's going to catch up to you.
Right.
And it probably is already.
Right. I mean, dude, we are literally the slowest team in the league. It's painful to
Yeah.
watch. Just circles getting skated around us. Painful.
And I think like as bad as Nick Leddy was last year, maybe he was here. They really missed that puck moving ability. He could at least get it into the zone with ease. He would like lose his mind and forget how to play hockey once he got to the offensive zone. I feel like with him a lot, but he was like an underrated loss. Don't get me started on Taze, obviously. It's just sad. I like Scott Mayfield, but you can't re-sign him, so trade him.
Right.
Just trade him.
Exactly. Same thing with Varlamov. I mean, come on, guys, let's make this happen.
Although they
Um,
might re-sign him, I could see that.
Varlamov for like 10-year, like $50 million contract, fucking totally makes
Perfect.
sense.
Great.
So let's talk a little.
Oh, you could do some more nets. Sorry to get pushed
No,
back
there's
on the
nothing else to
goddamn
talk about.
Islanders.
Who gives a fuck about the
Well,
Nets, dude?
I was gonna say, like I feel you. Like back when the Islanders were hopeless, but they had that young core of like Tavares and like Okposo. That was like at least fun to like see flashes and be like, wow, this team could be great someday. There's none of that with the Islanders right now.
No. None of that except
And by the way,
Barzal
could we
and
get
Horvat.
like could we make a power? Could we draw up a power play where Bo Horvat touches the puck, like especially in overtime? Or do we want to have Matt Barzell just blasting like Alex Ovechkin?
I
I
mean,
mean,
dude, I'm
like
just.
again, some of the coaching I just don't understand.
I just don't even want to watch anymore. That's the
Yeah,
point of where we are in the season.
I
Like,
know.
I
I
don't
thought they were playing tonight, and I'm like, I'm definitely not watching. I'm doing something else, but I guess they're.
drinking. You're drinking. Well, it doesn't matter. You're drinking anyway. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna have some.
and then and Brooklyn, I don't care. I mean, they're also going nowhere this year. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. Who cares? It doesn't matter. None of that
All
shit
right,
matters.
let's talk some NFL then.
The Super Bowl happened, Doug. How do you feel? How do you feel about the way the game ended and the fact that the Chiefs came back and won? I know you were rooting for the Chiefs, but how does it make you feel? Do you feel like that
Rooting against Philly mostly.
holding? Did the holding
I'm
call
kind of
bother
neutral on the
you?
Chiefs. Um, I saw the replay. At the time it did just because it was the same kind of end of the game as it was. Well, not completely the same. Like I think the Bengals Chiefs was a worse referee ending than that one, especially when like Bradbury came out and was like, "Yeah, I holded the dude. I held the dude." I mean, it was unsatisfying though because you see these teams go back and forth. It's a heavyweight match. They're throwing blows, and then it's there's a penalty. Game's over, and
Yeah,
and,
I
and the
mean
other
that was
team won't
kind of a
get
letdown.
the response. That's all I
Yeah,
wanted to see was Hurts get the ball with like a little bit of time, even though I didn't want
yeah.
the Eagles to win. And I'm glad I didn't bet on that stupid game because I thought the Eagles would win. So I don't know.
I mean they
I
should have. They were up. They were up. They were dominating
it
until
was a
the
winnable game.
second half. It was
Good for
great,
Andy.
great. Yeah, good adjustments by Andy Reid for sure. So, and if you
Um,
really, I watched the breakdown actually on some show on ESPN the next day, and I want to say it was Dan Orlovsky who I think does a good job. Not that I watch a lot of ESPN, but there's no real regional
yeah,
sports
if you
network out
want,
here. Yeah,
they're fine.
so he was breaking down how Bieniemy and Reed were calling. They were wasting downs to call plays on motion to see how the Eagles were going to line up, and then
Okay,
the next
gotcha.
play, that's the two touchdowns where the guys were wide open, Tony and Moore.
Yeah,
They showed the play before, and like if you go back and look at the play, they ran the exact same formation,
ooh,
and
nice.
it was like a safety shadow. So they weren't running man where the one guy would come across and then the other corner would follow him. It was this safety was high, this guy would come across, this safety would shift, or this safety would be here, and then this guy would come across and he'd shift to high, and the high safety would shift down on the other side. And so it
They
was
picked
like
up on that.
so yeah, so that's how they did those two plays. They were the exact same call, just on the opposite. It was like in Madden, you reverse the field and
Yeah,
just run the same shit the other way. So
I love that.
impressive. It was impressive. I don't know, man. I could have cared less about the game. It was a good game to watch.
Commercials too. I don't really get into that either, but
Whatever. Rihanna, everyone wanted to fucking shit on Rihanna or whatever. I thought she did a good job. Yes, she was pregnant. Great. You know, everyone wanted to talk about that. So it was cool. I forgot how many songs she had and how many hits she had. And she
yeah,
reminded me in 15 minutes. So it
word.
was good. I liked it.
It was a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, but now we get to fire off 600 mock drafts, right? It's time. But I wanted to ask you about. I've seen. How many have you seen already this week? It's great.
Mock drafts. I mean, I'll read them all. There's a couple guys that I put a little more ilk into. Like I'm done with Kuiper and McShay. I mean, I'll check out and I'll just scroll to see who they say the Jets are picking, just to you know either laugh or tickle my fancy or whatever. But
Yeah.
I like Dane Brugler. I think he does a good job. I like
Oh yeah, definitely.
what's the guy's name?
I think
Daniel
he was the one who
Jeremiah.
said. Oh yeah, Jeremiah's great. I think you tipped me off on all these guys, by the way. It's interesting. Brugler was saying that this class is absolutely stacked in terms of running back.
Yeah, I mean
But
Bijan
beyond
Robinson.
Bijan, but like mid rounds. Anyway, maybe the Giants think about grabbing one of those guys.
Yeah,
But
man, it's looking more and more like that price tag keeps creeping up and up and up. It was
yeah,
we talked about it was like 10, it's already like 12 to 14 and
well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
and I don't know, like yeah, you look at Twitter, you look at you look for Twitter for now. That site's burning down, but I was looking at the comments on that, and it's like, hey, why not draft a running back, and then if the season goes south, turn Saquon into McCaffrey for someone in a trade. Who knows? So it's going to be a lot of fun, right? We'll do another mock. One thing I want to mention though is like someone was doing a redraft, and I know Twitter's for like dragging people, right? It's basically what it's for. It's like,
Right.
check out this fucking idiot, and everybody dumps
Dude.
on him. But
I posted something on Twitter the other day. I don't post a lot on Twitter and
yeah,
someone posted like this is Max Scherzer had his kid and they went back like 9 months and they were like this is the game when he shut out the Phillies, he probably went home and made this baby, right? Like some
oh
Mets
nice.
fan page, and I wrote, "Babies actually take 10 months," and oh my god, I got destroyed, dude. I'm like, this is why I don't say anything. I'm like, well, I don't. I
Why
just
did you
laughed
say that?
because babies do take 10 months, 40 weeks, bro. Do the math. They tell you it's 9 months, but it's not.
Mm,
It's 10 months, bro. It's
mm,
10 months.
okay, I
Yeah.
thought there was some other thing there.
No, dude.
Well,
40 weeks is full term for a child. My child came at 40 and a half weeks. So if you do the math,
makes
it's
sense.
10 months, right? But they tell you 9 months. I don't fucking right. Mind blown. Mind blown. Exactly. Exactly.
Uh,
So
40 weeks. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, there's someone was doing a redraft for last year, and they had they were like, yeah, Jets took Sauce Gardner, should have taken Brock Purdy.
right. I saw that. That was dumb. That was dumb. Mr. Irrelevant now. Could be. I mean, he probably is a better starting
What do you
quarterback.
think? If only you guys had Brock Purdy, right?
I mean, I'm sure he would have had the same. It's like it doesn't like it's wherever you put someone, the situation it dictates so
Oh,
much, right? The
I know.
coaching and all that stuff. So, I
It's just a big circle jerk, right?
right,
We're just
exactly.
killing time.
Well, it's February, there's no Olympics, so what else do you do?
Yep.
What else do you do? Now
I mean,
we're gonna get ready for
the,
March Madness, vasectomy season, Doug. Vasectomy
oh,
season.
dude, yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, it is. I'm gonna break down the ACC tournament for you. I hope you can't wait.
I
The
can't wait.
Syracuse's won 3 in a row. They're 9-6 in conference play. Huge game against Duke this weekend
Oh, who also
at Cameron.
stinks? Who also
Yeah,
stinks this
like
year?
root for the Meteor. Yeah, I
Yep.
get it. Everybody hates Boeheim, and it's kind of been gradual over the years. But like he's definitely like one of the public enemy number ones in college basketball. It's kind of funny, just because he's a prick to reporters and
He's always been a prick though,
yeah,
and he fucking got a DUI and like got away with it somehow.
he
I mean,
kind of ran
he's
someone over. And,
yeah. I mean, and he got away with it. Like, brush that under
well,
the rug.
he's connected up there.
I mean, yeah.
So,
Isn't the fucking
and
floor named after him? Isn't it like the Carrier Dome at Jim Boeheim floor or some shit
oh
like
yeah,
that?
dude, forget it. And he's like he's one of the last ones standing. Maybe him and Bob Huggins are the last of that era that we grew up with. Those just iconic coaches, right?
Yeah, Bob Huggins.
Or and you know what? Patino's I think still at Iona here, like down the road.
I mean, he's got the laziest eye I've ever seen in my life, and whatever
Lazier than
with
this
that
one.
guy. Yeah. Oh no, I'm talking the one that like what is it? The wandering
Yeah,
one that goes out that way? Yeah, that thing. I don't know. I don't know what you call that,
you know,
but
the Cheesecake Factory waitresses will do that to you, I guess. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Him and
This is good beer.
oh, I love it, dude. Yeah, so I
What
pitchers and
was it? Cheesecake Factory? Anyway.
pitchers and catchers reported this week.
Oh no, dude! I want to ask you. What's his name? Carr is a free agent. You want Rogers? You want Carr? You still Rogers?
Yeah, I'm all. I mean, I still think that the deal's done, but I don't know. I think that someone reported this week that the deal's agreed to if Rogers agrees that he wants to go to the Jets. I don't fucking know, man. I'm clearly dejected today and exhausted. I don't really care at this point because well, it doesn't matter, dude. It
The
doesn't matter.
2023 New York Jets. I don't really care at this point.
I can't care at this point. I have no control. I think if Aaron Rodgers can come back and play and be, the guy he was under Hackett 2 and 3 years ago, I think that's a great idea. I think Zach Wilson can learn a lot from Aaron Rodgers over the next 2 years. I think if Rodgers wants to give us 2 years, but it depends on what you have to give up for him. I mean, if we have to give up multiple ones, that seems a lot for a 39-year-old quarterback. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, are we that close? And then if we give up a one, how are we getting? Where are we plugging that hole on the offensive line? I don't know.
I'm
So
having Mugato here. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Is anyone else like me in saying, Jesus Christ, Aaron Rodgers to New York, trying to rekindle the magic in New York at age 40? Like, this doesn't sound like a very good idea, guys. Like, this sounds like a goddamn disaster.
yeah, it's probably gonna.
Am I on the island? I guess I am.
No, I think. Well, I think a lot of people still think he can play. I mean, look at Brady. He won a Super Bowl at 42. I don't think.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like,
Rodgers is. He's not as good as Brady, but he's in that echelon right
he
below where
was. Now he goes
he had a
into
bad
like
year
dark
where
houses for a month.
he is definitely in his we're in his ayahuasca trip right now. A
Right
4-day
now,
ayahuasca trip, dude.
we don't even exist.
Yeah, Aaron, go to the Jets. Go to the New York Jets. I
Don't
don't
do
know,
it,
dude.
man.
Is he gonna
New
go?
York,
But what's bad? Like Doug, so you say that, right? And I'll be cynical,
right?
Mike Curlin, right now. Like, so you're gonna tell me that fucking Derek Carr is gonna be this great upgrade? Like the guy
Not really. I
is
just think of
okay.
Aaron
He's
Rodgers.
better than like. So when you're starting to talk about the New York Jets quarterback position, we haven't had a fucking decent quarterback since like Chad Pennington, which was like 20 years ago, dude. And then he got his arm ripped off. Like Mark
And
Sanchez,
he was all right.
he was all right. He was very accurate, but they always took the deep ball away against us, and so he was all right. But couple of playoff wins. Sanchez came in and like he was okay. He was okay. He wasn't great, and he definitely got us some playoff wins as well. But I think that some of that stuff was in spite of him. I mean, we have struck out on quarterbacks forever. We have never
Right.
developed in my lifetime.
No,
We have
I feel your pain.
never really developed a quarterback. I guess Pennington we developed, but everyone else that has adorned that Jets jersey as a QB has been fucking disastrous. And Zach Wilson looks like the next disastrous fucking quarterback. So when you're talking about competent quarterback play, we don't even know what the fuck that looks like, dude.
No, you're right, and you're right. It's all situational. Who knows? Maybe Derek Carr is great in New York. Who knows? Maybe Maybe
dude,
Rodgers is.
Derek Carr. So there's so many links, right? You got me talking about it, okay. So Todd Downing just came in. He's with Tannehill. Keith Carter is the running game coordinator. Todd Downing is now the passing game coordinator, and they were both with Tannehill the last couple of years in fucking Tennessee. Is Ryan Tannehill an upgrade? Yes. Is he going to take us to the fucking Super Bowl? I don't think so. Is Derek Carr an upgrade? Yes. But I mean, pretty much anybody like Jacoby Brissett is a fucking upgrade from what we had. But that doesn't mean that he's going to do any better or worse. So like it's like this quarterback purgatory for the last 20 years, dude. So if Brett Favre, the 1 year we did have him, came in, and if he didn't get hurt, we actually played really, really well that year. He got hurt, and then we lost like the last 7 games because he couldn't throw the ball more than 5 fucking yards. So
just like a kid out there, just a gunslinger. He just chucks it up.
So I think if we got Rodgers, he's got the most talent, and he could teach Zach. I don't know. I'm not excited about Derek Carr. I'm not excited about Tannehill. I'm not excited about Jimmy G. I'm not excited about any of these guys. I don't want to draft another fucking quarterback. So really, I'm kind of what I would love, and I don't know how it happens, is I'd love to try and get Lamar away from Baltimore. I hope
There you go.
that's the guy I'd pay
There you go.
multiple first round picks
Yeah.
for. Give him Zach Wilson back, so let them try and see if they can fix him. Give him someone like Carl Lawson or whatever. Pretty decent defensive end. I don't know if Baltimore would be interested in any of that, or they just want picks. Fine, just give them all picks. Then you're mortgaging all your picks for a 26-year-old MVP. Has he done anything in the playoffs? He's won one playoff game. So
No, he's not perfect.
no, he's not. But he's 26. I can get behind that. Carr's 32. He's still got another 6-7 years before he's probably starts falling off the cliff. Tannehill's like 35. He's got a year or two left. I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Garoppolo's
Is he
30.
really 35 already? No.
Tannehill, I think, is the oldest of all besides Rodgers. And like, I don't want anything to do with Carson Wentz or fucking, Matt Ryan or dude. If they bring back Sam fucking Darnold, I thought about that today because there was like this whole list.
How much fun would that be?
If they bring back Sam Darnold, that would be very very Jet-esque. Like, hey, we just for the, I don't know. I think Carolina may re-sign him because he didn't play terrible at the end of the year last year, and so maybe Frank Reich thinks he can save him. By the way, that staff in Carolina is looking pretty crazy, to be completely honest.
So, well, I know that the interim guy was pretty pissed that he didn't get hired.
Yeah, he went to San Francisco. He's their new D coordinator. He replaced Ryan's.
Wilkes.
So, yeah, exactly.
Who am I forgetting? Like they hired
they hired Jim Caldwell as their like assistant head coach. Forget.
No, I'm sorry. Who's the head? I'm just
Frank Reich. Frank Reich.
Right.
Yes.
Frank gets another shot.
Frank Reich. Yes, gets another shot. Yeah, man. So
we'll see. So you're okay with Rodgers? I don't know, man. I just think the media is going to eat him up, and he's probably going to play into that crap.
Yeah, I don't think he cares. I don't think he gives one iota of care about that. I think he's happy to, do his thing, and if he can take the team to the next level, great. And what does he have left to prove? He's a Hall of Famer.
Right. Does he care about football?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to understand. This guy's fucking going on an
That's another reason why I don't think it's a good idea.
Another ayahuasca journey that he's self-admitted. Hey,
he's going to be unsupervised for about 4 months.
Don't smoke weed, NFL players, or you'll get suspended. But go fucking do a shit ton of ayahuasca, admit to it, and we won't do goddamn things.
If you're a quarterback, it's cool. You don't even have to, follow like the vax rules or whatever is in place. So, not that we want to get on that crap again.
No, we don't.
That was a fun era of our show. Hey, so NFL, we're going to do a lot of draft stuff, right? And it's going to be fun the next few months. It always is, right?
Definitely. So, well, listen, Dougie, I hate to cut this show short, but we're not
even talking Mets.
No, we're going to talk Mets next week after pitchers and catchers have been like a full little bit of time. I think we'll dedicate the show next week to. The only thing I did want to mention is Mr. DeGrom already out with some sort of impingement in something.
Little
tightness of the shoulder.
Which is really weird for him. Like, you never... Like, he's the guy who's just like...
It was great.
Ready to go.
I hate being that guy, but I loved reading that. I was like, fuck you.
I know.
Fuck you, buddy.
Look, Elon's going to like get rid of blocks and mutes, and that's probably going to be the last straw, and I'll quit Twitter, but I'm going to miss Twitter so much.
It's not what it used to be. It's not what.
No, it's not.
So
that's right.
So
we'll find a new list.
What do you got to say today, Dougie?
Hey, yeah. Let's take a minute because this is a good one. At least for us, this guy was formative. I don't know about you.
Definitely.
But he probably taught me more about baseball than anyone when I was a kid in the '80s. I don't think I'm exaggerating because Ralph Kiner was kind of like the Bob Uecker guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had Fran Healy, Steve Zabriskie, Howie Rose, Gary Thorne. All those guys are great, but Tim McCarver really actually taught me about the game when I was becoming obsessed with the game when I was a kid.
Agreed.
To the point where I would play like wiffle ball with my friends like in the yard, and I'd be like doing play-by-play, and I'd be thinking about I would use his phrases and stuff. I was like 6 years old. I was talking like a 50-year-old. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Look at me now. So I know people got tired of him kind of with Joe Buck in the 90s and 2000s, but for Mets fans, Mets fans know what's up. Tim McCarver is a legend. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Days.
Michael Diaz. Yeah, I was
Go
definitely
ahead and talk about it.
I was definitely sad when he left to go to the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's like, how could you do that to us,
Yeah.
Timmy?
Yeah, I kind of
But
blocked that out. I forgot
yeah,
about that.
yeah. But I guess they paid him real money, So anyway,
Coach
yeah,
did that a lot
I
back
think you make a good point. He was great. He was what he was Sports Channel. He's why I loved watching. And then we got
Yeah,
left with
he would break shit down. He'd be like, this is
he's
a great
what
play
Darling
for the
and Hernandez do
sacrifice.
now. Which, by the way, Hernandez did
Exactly.
re-sign for another 3 years. So cheers to
Never
that.
in doubt, right?
All right, Dougie. Well, it's been a great show. Sorry I got to cut it short, but we'll talk Mets baseball next week.
No worries. Thanks, guys.